welcome to this week's brand new episode of the Being Podcast. It is actually, y'all, episode number 22 of the second season. If you know, you know, and if you don't, I'm gonna let you know. 22 is my favorite number, and today I'm gonna be talking about celebration, making the time to acknowledge what we've accomplished. But before we get into that, for those of you that are returning and for those of you that are new, know that this is a safe space that I have created for us to come to in order to encourage, inspire, motivate each other, and think about and tweak if we need to how we believe, engage, innovate, navigate, and gain in every area of our lives and everything that we do. So with that, I am your host. I am your girl, Jada. I am always excited to have you here with me. And we're going to jump right on into this episode. So if you are watching me, and by the way, this is, I guess, a shameless plug. If you have not checked me out yet on my YouTube channel to see me coming at you every week, do me a favor. Can you go catch it? Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's a big difference in like seeing me as we're connecting versus, listening to me in your ear. Both ways, I am super grateful. And I am always excited that people are making time to listen to me. So either way is fine. But if you haven't checked me out, check me out and let me know what you think. So anyway, if you are watching, I am in this new sparkly shirt that I bought. I thought it was cute. I wanted to throw it on. And if you're listening, it's black and it's kind of mesh and it has like this crisscross thing going or like diamond print or design. And then there's sparkles because, your girl's a pageant girl or an ex-pageant girl. And I love all things that are sparkly. And I put on these cute little sparkly earrings. Why? Well, one, it was easy. And, being a mom of three, I like easy. I mean, who doesn't? But secondly, because I really was thinking about what did I want to talk about. Last week was a little, reflective. How do we deal with adversity? How do we deal with being resilient? Because we all are resilient. And if you don't think you are, please go listen to that episode if you haven't. And if you did and you still don't think you are, go listen to it again because you are. You're so much stronger than we give ourselves credit for. So this week, though, I wanted to talk about celebrations. On Fridays, I tend to, go out on my social media and have people to think about, one, how they were resilient of the week, and two, what is something that they're celebrating, whether it's something big or something small. Maybe it's something that they've been working on, or maybe it's something that's new and they finally took the first step. Even if that's acknowledging that dream, passion, desire is within them and they are ready to give it a go. Whatever it is, maybe it's like me last week, because y'all know, I think I've probably mentioned it. If not, here we go. Your girl is not the biggest cook. And I would often say like, oh, I'm not a cook. I don't cook, right? I can microwave really well. I can warm up stuff really good, but I'm not a cook. That my husband did not marry me for my cooking. And even though we built our house and we were able to put in all of these little gadgets, I think he thought, okay, build it and they will come, build this and she will get there. Well, between me personally changing my mindset to say, you know what? I do want to do better. I am on my fitness and my health journey. I'm in my Jackie Robinson year and I just want to be better. I want to feel better. I want to, have that quality of life now and later because as we know, and as I say all the time, my kids don't care that my knees hurt. So I wanted to do that. So I started working on the fitness and I'm getting up and I'm working out and I'm loving it. And if you're busy like me, having those workouts that are efficient, effective, 30 minutes or less, perfect. I love them. So I have been doing these challenges and it, one, helps keep me on track. Two, it is structured enough. So I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to think about it too much. get up, get my clothes on, get out there, press play, let's go. All right. So I was doing that. And then it finally hit me. I'm like, you know what, Jada, that's great. And, I'm working out, I'm drinking my water more, I'm getting my steps. Like I had these goals because that started with the challenge. I want 8,000 steps a day. I want at least 70 ounces of water a day. That was my goal. I let my accountability team know and they hold me accountable. But then I was like, I want to work out more. So I started doing that. And so now, recently, I'm like, you know what? I need to plan and prep my meals, right? And not just for me, yeah, it's helpful for me, but also because what am I teaching my babies? What am I showing them? So, I had the excuse and I lived in it. I ain't gonna lie, I keep it 100 with y'all. I had the excuse of like, okay, I work 9 to 5 and I have my coaching business and I'm a wife and I have all these things. And by the time I pick the kids up, we just have to get something to eat and get home so we can get them bathed and get them down. And I used that for a long time, like up until like a couple of weeks ago. So I started thinking about it and I'm like, well, you know what, Jada, if you plan it and you prep it, then you really kind of start taking the excuse out of it. So a couple of weeks ago, I did. And to help me remain even more accountable, I reached out to some of my other mommy friends and I'm like, hey, I have this idea. How would you feel about getting on Zoom and we are all in our own kitchens, but we are prepping at least one meal together? And we did that and it was awesome. And so last week we did it again. This week we're going to skip, or this past week we skipped. This past Sunday we skipped because it was Father's Day. But we still prepped and then sent each other pictures. So still have a little bit of the accountability in there, right? Well, then y'all, my big girl, my Olivia Lynn, she changed the game on me. I was not prepared. She said, Mama, we eat out too much. I said, what? Yes, we do, girl. She said, Vava, we spend so much money. I said, you right, we do. She said, so next week, Mama, let's not go to Taco Bell. Let's not go to Chick-fil-A, which is her favorite now. Let's not go to get pizza, which is probably really her favorite between Domino's and Chick-fil-A. Let's cook at home. And y'all, it's like what we put out, we definitely can manifest and we can grow and we can make that happen. So I started this for me with the hopes of her and, twin brother and sister seeing what I'm doing and then wanting to be part of that. And boom, the next week we were in that routine, in that motion. So now I have the food prep down. I'm celebrating that. Why? Because I had this dream. It's actually on my vision board. Have y'all done a vision board? I want to do one for business. I just haven't made the time. But it was on my vision board, like eat better, work out, more mom nights out, building my relationship with my husband, like all of these things. And here's the kicker. I put that on my vision board in the summer of 21. So I am coming up on 2 years of that vision board and things are still coming to fruition for me. So why am I sharing all this? Because I am celebrating, because we don't have to wait for whatever that goal is to be attained, obtained, reached, completed. We don't have to wait till the big thing. Like, what are the baby steps that we're taking? What are those actions that we're taking from going from our minds into our hearts, coming now out of our mouths and into our hands, our feet, whatever that's causing the action to come? Because it's one thing. I get it. It has to start somewhere. It's one thing to have things in our minds. It starts with mindset. I'm big on that. Next, it's how are we communicating that to each other, right? Not only to each other, but to ourselves. Like, how are we doing that? Are we writing that out? I'm really big on pen and paper. How are we writing that out? And then how are we sharing that with the people around us so that they can help us to reach that? And then what is that system and that routine that we're putting in place to make it become a habit? So I am celebrating all of these things because as the book Atomic Habits pointed out, there were so many good nuggets from this book, and I will try to mention some here and there as they, come up and how they pertain to the topic. But there is something in what we're saying and how we speak about ourselves. You know, they're like, if you're a writer, then you write every day. If you're a runner, then you're running. If you are whatever that is that you're saying you are, that's what you are. But you become that by what you're doing. So yes, it's great to have it in your mind. It's great to communicate it. But then y'all, we got to get up and get after it. It's the actions that really tell the tale. It's our actions that people look at and they're like, oh, I see you out here running every day. You must be a runner. Absolutely. Or are you training for something? Like they see what you're doing because that's a reflection of who you say that you are. But then along the way, don't you celebrate that? You're not waiting to complete that. I don't even know why I'm using running. Sorry. Side note, I hate running. So I don't even know why I'm using this as the analogy. But you get what I'm saying. You don't wait until, oh, I've ran the whole marathon to say, oh, I'm a runner. No. It starts with, hey, I got out there and I walked. Okay, now I'm out there and I'm running a mile. Okay, I'm building up. I'm doing the 5K. I'm doing these things because I'm building and I'm getting better and I am becoming and being who I have said and purpose to be. As I'm getting there, though, I'm celebrating because I'm like, hey, I did that. I accomplished that. I am this. And then you're living it and you're feeling it. And it's just motivating you to push even further. So, what are you celebrating? I'll give you a second. Think about it. What have you set your mind to and you have made even one little baby step? I know there's something. And then, kind of reflecting back on last week's episode, if you've done the things and you're doing it, we have to remember like life is going to happen. Challenges are going to come, right? Like we're climbing that mountain. And then guess what? There might be, as we hit the peak, we might have to come back to the valley. But how are we being resilient? How are we either winning or learning from that? And in that, celebrate, embrace, like, okay, that didn't go how I thought it was going to go, but now I can tweak it. And now it's even better than I thought it was going to be. That's what I want you to get from this today, that you were so much stronger, that you are accomplishing things, you are succeeding. And just because you may take a step back does not make you a failure, and do not get stuck there. And another atomic habit, little nugget for you is don't, like, if things happen, because life is going to happen, cool, got it. Let it happen, feel the feels, and then get back on it. Don't allow it to happen again. That is how we stay on track. That is how we keep pushing forward. That is how we get to where we are wearing shiny shirts and we are celebrating the things in the middle of the week because we can, because we have, and because there's more to come from that. And I'm telling you, when you do a little bit and you celebrate that and you're excited for what you did, your mind's going to be like, hey, I want more of that. Your body's going to say, hey, I want more of that. And then that's going to push you and you're going to keep going and you're going to keep pushing and you're going to keep going. And then it becomes just part of who you are. And then not only that, my hope for you is that you are going to push and pray and pour that into somebody else. Because let me tell you something, just like I've had to finally have this aha moment of Jada, get out of your own way, girl, because there are people who really need you, that are watching you. Because I tell y'all all the time, and I tell myself, people are watching, right? Whether we know it or not, they're watching. So I had to get past that mental roadblock of like, I have nothing to offer, or what I have is not going to help somebody else. That is not on me to decide. And that is not on you to decide. So if you're like me, or how I was, of thinking, okay, it has to be perfect. As we know, if you're looking, perfect is boring. I have this nice little cute picture behind me. It doesn't have to be that. We just have to show up in who we have been called and purposed to be. Because people are going to get what they need from you, and then they have to make the decisions to take that and carry it forward, and to then have their own momentum to get to their own celebrations. All right, you feel me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down is what I need to know. So, we've had a lot of things going on. We did talk about celebrations in May, right? With graduations and weddings and all the things, and how Olivia went and did a pageant, and I was so proud of her, and we celebrated that. And then we got into June, and now we're trying to get into our summer routine. And I just want to make sure that you And I understand that routines don't have to be boring, right? So, for example, we had that week, right? Last week, we're like, all right, we're cooking at home. And we have a McDonald's that opened like right by the Domino's, right down the street from us. And as a family, we were all together one night. And I was like, hey, I think it's open, babe. Go over there. So he drives, and Olivia's like, oh, can we order? And I'm like, I said, we had a commitment that we were going to cook and eat in. I said, but how about we do this the rest of the week? Because I think it was like maybe Wednesday when this happened. I said, okay, we're going to eat our chicken at home that we've made. And then the next night, you're going to make your pizza. And then on Friday, because it's the end of the week, we will celebrate and we will go there. So again, she tried it because that's what they do. They try it. And on Thursday, she was like, Mommy, can we go today? And I said, no. That is not what we said. I said, what did we say? And make sure you fix your attitude, because if you don't, then we're definitely not going to have it, right? All the lessons we have to throw in there. Because guess what? Not everything is going to go your way when you want it to go your way. But guess what? You're stronger than that, and you can push through that as well. And that's what I had to teach her. And guess what, y'all? Your girl wanted some McDonald's. Like, it's brand new. I wanted to be one of the first ones to go through the drive-thru, right? But no. I had already made up my mind. We had already set this commitment for the week. So Friday, they had water day, had fun at school, and that night we were able to go and treat ourselves. And guess what, y'all? Do the same for yourself. Set a goal and say, okay, this week, this is my goal, and these are the steps I want to get to. And if I get to this, then this is how I'm going to reward myself, right? It's not completely finished. So should you go out there and buy a new bag or a new pair of shoes? Maybe not, but maybe you say, you know what? I'm going to let myself sleep in for 30 extra minutes or whatever it is, right? Like make, almost like we say about, punishment and crime, right? The punishment should fit the crime. Like the reward should fit the action and the work put in. So make it make sense, right? Like let's not go crazy with that, but make it make sense, but celebrate it. Yes, acknowledge that, you know what, I haven't worked out in so many months or whatever, right? For whatever reason. And this week, I just want to get up and I just want to move my body for 15 minutes, for 10 minutes. Every day, I'm going to do something for 10 minutes. And by the end of the week, that's 50 minutes that you had not worked out the week before or the weeks before. So now what can you do to reward yourself? Okay, if you're trying to lose weight, don't go eat like McDonald's. But maybe there is something that you can do for yourself. Like figure out what that is and celebrate it and reward yourself. I promise. That is going to help your momentum. That is going to help you to keep pushing forward. That is going to help you to start building the habit to become who it is that you want to become. So I hope that, I know last week was a little down, but I hope you got something from that. I hope you got something from today. And I am just so happy and blessed that y'all are here. And this is my 22nd episode. And I love, the number 22. So I am probably going to find a way to celebrate this episode dropping because I feel blessed that I have found something that I really love to do and that I'm showing up not only for you, but for myself every week. And here we are, 22 episodes in. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you have the most amazing rest of your week. I hope you find something that you have overcome. And guess what? If you haven't, this is my challenge for you. My challenge for you is to find one thing. Find one thing that you want to start. And I want you to just comment dream. And I'm going to reach out to you because I want to help you to get to that. All right. So with that, enjoy the week. Stay blessed. Stay safe.